Hello, everybody. So, this is the last installment of this at the moment because I still am working on Devourer's Tales. So, it might be a minute before there's an update video for that. However, this video is about Darkest End. Now, Darkest End follows three characters throughout a situation of the world is ending. There are all sorts of monsters. There's creatures that are a mixture of like the creature from The Thing with something out of Silent Hill, uh, mushroom monster creature fucking things that are that cause hallucinations and people to basically turn into mushrooms and give birth to more mushrooms. It's got creepy ass mannequins. It's got time travel. It's got an angry, jealous god in there that is doing its thing. It's got a lot of stuff in it for such a short book. Now, this is the first book in a series that I am doing. The next one in the series, I've only got about a chapter done in it, but I have a lot of things that I have going right now that I'm going to start writing so that it fits into that story. So, I have a few stories that are going to be in Devourer's Tales, where some of the creatures from that are going to make appearances in the next book of this series. Which are sorry, I had Texas Day Brazil, and I'm still feeling the after effects of the meat sweats. So, bear with me. Okay, so Darkest End. Again, the cover was done by my old roommate, who has since moved out, which kind of sucks, but I'm still going to have her do my other covers. She did a awesome job on this cover. There's the front, and the back cover work is awesome as well. I love it. But anyways, this one I actually, shelled out the money, had it professionally edited, and I'm pretty happy with what the person did. I am sick and tired of reading this fucking book because that is one thing that every writer and author will tell you is that they are sick and tired of their own goddamn book after doing enough edits for it. Because I edited the fuck out of it like 5 times before I even sent it, and then I reread it before I even published it. So yeah, I'm done with reading the goddamn book. But I like the story. Again, I did not use any character names until certain things happened. Now, that's not saying that I didn't keep to the concept. And let me tell you, it is very difficult to write an entire book without using main MC names. So, main character names, non existent. Creatures and monsters, they all have their names or descriptions and everything a lot easier. It's a lot better. This book took me quite a bit of time in order to get done because I have never written a long format narrative. And technically this isn't considered a book, it's considered more of a novella simply because of the page length. But in my mind, this is one of the best stories that I have written so far. It has a lot in it that I think kind of breaks the norm of like so much crap nowadays has the love story, the strong man, showing up and doing this thing, or the reluctant hero, or it's very difficult for me to deal with that on a regular basis because that just seems like a basic bitch, situation. And I'm not gonna lie and say that this is something special or anything out of the ordinary. This is a book that if you like dark situations, this will probably be a nice beginning book for that. Um, I am not going to lie, there are some parts that are quite disturbing. The one creature, which is not necessarily named in the book, but I had a story that I actually put into this book because it would fit for a background story for one of the characters. The creature is known as the Perverse Pet. As you can probably tell from the name, and if you've read any of my other stuff, you know damn well that is going to be a fucked up situation. Quite a bit of swearing in this. Again, not recommended for kids. I would strongly suggest, though, that if you like things that are probably about middle of the road as far as graphic wise, this would be a good choice. As far as storyline and everything, I think it holds its own. As far as the continuity issues, I went through and I took care of all of that stuff before publishing. In fact, I rewrote probably the last 3 chapters probably 6 times, and I'm kind of happy I did that, because if I hadn't, it just would have been way too long-winded and just basically oh my god, I cannot fucking talk today. And now I forgot what the word is. God damn it. Do yourself a favor. Don't have head injuries, because you won't remember shit when you're trying to talk. Anyways. Exhibition. Is it exposition? There we go. An exposition dump. And I was trying to avoid that. Got it. Cool. Anyways, so with all the exposition dumps that you usually see in books, I try not to have that. I really do. But there's a lot of flashbacks, time travel kind of stuff, and in the next book, it's going to get even weirder with interdimensional stuff. The creatures that are going to be in the next book are actually some of the creatures that are going to be from Devourer's Tales. I'm kind of looking forward to that one, because there's a creature from that book that I really want to see in this universe, and it's going to be entertaining to see how that works, because there's a creature character in this that I did not explain how they were made. However, that will probably be answered in the next book. So please, if and when you buy this, keep in mind it's the first of a series. So if you don't like the ending, it is explained in the next book. Trust me, I will take care of that. So please, feel free to check this out. If you want a signed copy, I do have copies of all 3 of my books. Just hit me up. Find me on Facebook or find me on Twitter. Preferably find me on Twitter, Mr. McSqueakums. Yes, I understand that is a very odd name, but I made the Twitter account before I, started doing YouTube videos. So, again, not my problem. I also will have a link for my Discord that I have. Unfortunately, I don't have anybody in there at the moment, but if you want to join in, I will start adding details in there of keeping updates of how Devourer's Tales are going. You can catch me on the TCC Comics Core Pod Chat on Fridays. I don't do not Fridays. Fridays or Saturdays, depending on other scheduling issues. That's not my choice. That's on them. Every once in a while, maybe a Tuesday show, but I'm usually on there at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, It's pretty much uncensored, so there's a lot of bullshittery that happens. Anyways, back to the book. Now, the main character here is basically a very confused man trying to figure out what's going on, because in the backstory that I put in for him, there's certain things that happened that he wants answers to, and he understands that he has to head east in order to get those answers. That's all I'm going to say, because I can't really say much more without giving away spoilers. The female main character has a story of her own that you will basically, you don't really get a backstory to her per se, but you do get a backstory of where she came from, in a sense. She is more of a badass type. Doesn't really give a fuck what's going on. She's going to tell you straight up, you're an idiot kind of person. And yeah. The third main character is a disgraced police officer who I kind of hinted at his backstory, which is quite far along in the book. However, it gives a little bit of a feel of, can I trust this guy? Can I not trust this guy? It's kind of a holy shit, I kind of did a, what is that, a metaphor? No, not a metaphor. I forgot what the fucking word is. Again, I failed English. But anyways, grammar and that kind of shit is not my strong suit, especially remembering what things are called. But anyways, he's kind of shifty when it comes to certain things. So when his story arc continues, it's kind of it's kind of hard to explain without giving away too much shit. Anyways, he's a good guy, but does stupid shit and has a bit of an anger issue. That's all I can really say. You're going to have to read the book in order to get the story, because I can't give anything away without giving away spoilers. The New God. His backstory I actually had to cut from the book completely, but it will be in Devourer's Tales, along with a lot of the backstories for some of the creatures that inspired the stories that I had for the creatures originally that inspired me to write this book are actually in Devourer's Tales, along with a few other stories. And I have significantly jumped on that book, because that one, the stories are quite a bit longer. So it's a little bit longer of a read. However, I'm still editing that, so don't worry about that yet. But you can get a copy of Darkest End on Amazon, like all the other videos that I've done for this, for my books. You can find the links in the description. Feel free to log on to the Discord and everything. So if you want to stay in touch with me or with other people that are interested in, disturbing horror or anything like that, I'm trying to start a community. But yeah, feel free to pick up Darkest End. I'm going to do my best to try to get all of my books into more stores, I guess you could call them. But at the moment, I'm kind of limited in what to do, because I don't know how to get in touch with other book selling agencies. That doesn't involve me having to have my own printing company on the side. So, okay then. I've kind of rambled long enough for this video. So feel free to check it out, and have a good rest of your day, guys. Bye.